Hey everybody, Kansas Flamingo Chef here. Welcome back for another edition. And hopefully some of you watching this have seen my fried catfish show. And hopefully some of you have also seen the etouffee show. I'm a big fan of Southern food. And today, I really feel like eating some blackened catfish. So before we get started on blackened catfish, I want to talk about the two side items I'm going to eat today. This is dirty rice. Now if you don't know what dirty rice is, it's pretty easy. Basically it's just white rice with a little bit of brown rice mixed in and some ground up breakfast sausage and then some Cajun spices and a little bit of oregano and parsley. That's all there is to it. You can add salt and pepper. This stuff is so good. It's meaty rice. It's a Louisiana tradition. The other thing we're going to do, did you know that you can cook this in the microwave? So what I want you to do is take a cornstalk and pull this husk off, not all of it, just the ones that are kind of feathering. So you've got something that looks kind of like that. So the corn itself is still covered all the way around, but you don't have stuff flying off everywhere. Don't cut off the other ends yet. All you're going to do is put this directly in the microwave for 4 minutes. That's all it takes. And then when you take it out, cut the ends off, pull the husk backwards, and you will have a perfect steamed ear of corn. I'll prove it to you in a little bit. Let's make some catfish. Alright, the ingredients for blackened catfish couldn't be much easier. I've got a big pan. You can cook this in you need a deep well pan here. We're not talking about just a skillet. You can also cook it in cast iron, and cooking it outside, especially if you've got people that are sensitive to spices, good idea. We're gonna put oil in there, enough oil to cover the bottom of the pan, or butter. Now I'm actually going to use garlic butter, but you can use oil, you can use butter, or garlic butter. I've got a couple of fish fillets. These are Kansas farm raised catfish, just like I normally use, just these happen to be filleted out. It's the only time I actually use fillets. I've got some Zatarain's blackened seasoning. But if you find another brand you'd rather use, it's fine. Or you can make your own. Get online, you'll find recipes for it. I just wanted to cheat today. And then I've got some Tony Chachere's Creole seasoning. We're going to use that as well. So the first thing we're going to do is start getting our pan hot while we get our catfish ready. Okay, while the butter is melting down, I want to show you how we're going to get these fish set up. So all we're going to do, I'm just going to put these on the plate. And I'm going to start covering them with blackening seasoning on one side, and I do mean cover. Okay, there's no harm in having extra blackening seasoning. And then a little Tony Chachere. I'm going to turn them over. Do exactly the same thing over here. Now they need to have a little bit of water on them when you do this, otherwise this stuff is just going to fall off and you're not going to get that good blackened finish that we want out of this. Now, as I said before, if you are sensitive to spices cooking, or someone in your house is, you need to cook this outdoors, because this is going to throw some fumes. So do turn on the hood on the oven, and let's get ready to cook. Alright, the apron is on. That means it's time to cook. Big shout out to my good friends the Wilsons for the apron. I do love it. And let's get set up on the butter. So there is our pan. I've turned the heat down a little bit. You can see there's already some browning in there. That's actually the garlic from the garlic butter. I've got this on about medium high, and that is hot. And I'm just going to go ahead and sit those fish in there. It's basically frying them without batter. The secret to blackening is what you're really doing is burning the blackened seasoning and cooking the fish at the same time. That's one reason you're going to have so many spices in the end. As you turn them over, you're going to see that nice crispy look and that blackening that's going on. That's really all there is to it. Here in a minute, I'm going to let some of this butter out of the pan and cook up so they're not deep frying, because that's the next step. We want to crispy them up. So once those are about a little over halfway, just go ahead and pour some of this butter off. Most of it, in fact, so that all you have is enough to cover the bottom of the pan. So at this point, I just hardly have any butter in here at all. I'm going to turn the heat up and let those fish finish. So what do you do with all this butter? Well, I don't throw it away. I put it in a container to use for the next thing I'm going to fry. A lot of people like to cover this. That's fine, you can. Just keep in mind that if you cover it and it doesn't have any way to let vapor out, you're going to steam your fish rather than blacken it. So a question that gets asked quite often is, how do you know when the fish is done? So if you take your tongs and press down in, especially in the thickest part, when they just slide right through there and there's no resistance, the fish is done. It's not done yet. Alright, so remember I told you I was going to show you what corn looked like out of the microwave. This is hot. In fact, you might be able to see the steam coming off of it at the moment, but it looks just the same. I'm going to adjust the camera so you can see what I'm going to do here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut. This is where the hair is, and if you feel right to where the edge of the corn is, just past that, just cut that straight off. At the other end, just past the point where it's connected to the plant, go up about 1/4 of an inch, cut straight down through that, with a good sharp heavy knife. Okay, and then all you got to do is stand it up on end and pull that whole thing off. And there is a perfectly steamed ear of corn. And I promise you, it tastes awesome. Just put a little butter on it, some salt and pepper, you're on your way. All right, dinner is ready. There it is. Slide that butter into view. Blackened catfish, dirty rice, and corn on the cob. It doesn't get a lot more southern than that, guys. And let me tell you, that's good stuff. As always, I want to thank you for joining me today. Please like, share, and subscribe. If you have a video, particular food you'd like me to make, a drink you'd like me to make, and here shortly I've been asked to brew beer. Haven't done it in a while, but I guess we're going to do that real soon. Thanks again. Like, share, and subscribe.